my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel, Books and Beaches. So today I come to you with a little bit of a library haul, as well as possibly what my reading plans are going to be for my upcoming holiday break. I have a week off between Christmas and New Year's because I work for the school district. So I am hoping to pick up my December reading then. I've been slacking a little bit just because I've had a lot of things going on, which is fine. But I'm hoping to get some really good reading done over that break. So I wanted to share with you a couple of the things that I've picked up in our school libraries lately. That thank goodness I am not limited to how long I can have these, but I for sure want to get them back in a reasonable manner, as well as a few of the books that I've got pulled for what I hope to read. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first book that literally got checked back in and I grabbed it out of our library Paris hands because I wanted to read it so bad, is 2 Degrees. And of course, because these are library copies, we're gonna get some extra glare there. And this is by Alan Gratz. It says A Planet in Crisis and Time is Running Out. I have really liked Alan Gratz's writing. I think the very first book I read was Refugee, which that book is phenomenal. I think everyone should read it. But I've liked a lot of the other things that he's written as well. I'm trying to think. The last one I picked up, I can't remember the title, but it was the book he wrote about 9/11. So when this one was coming out, I knew I wanted to pick it up. It says Fire, Ice, and Floods. 3 climate disasters, 4 kids fighting for their lives. So I've really enjoyed how a lot of his books have multiple perspectives. So hoping to pick that one up. I always say that. I'm going to pick all these up regardless. This next one, when I saw it on our shelves in some of the new books that our library has purchased, I knew I was going to grab this one, and this is all because Amanda at the Curly Reader, and that was When the World Was Ours, and this is by Liz Kessler. I remember Amanda talking about this, I'm not sure in which video, and honestly, I can't even remember what it's exactly about, but I knew I wanted to pick it up, and so it's been on my list ever since. And I'm just reading back here. The last happy day of my childhood and the day that we had met Mr. and Mrs. Stewart, a tickle and a chase and a trip over a lady's foot and to make up for it, an extra ride on the Ferris wheel and a piece of sacratort, I believe. That was what we had given them. And in return, they were offering us a whole new life. So I kind of skipped a little bit on there, but I know Amanda has raved about this. So possibly picking that one up over Christmas break. This one I picked up because in my one school library, they've kind of started organizing a few carts of books, not the whole library, by genre, so that if kids walk in, they can kind of pick and pull from things that they might be interested in. And this one, I was kind of just going through the shelf, and I don't know if we call it our horror shelf per se, but this one's called Asylum by Madeline Rue, and I don't know if my lights are gonna let this cover come in, but it's just kind of creepy. And as I started reading, I was like, oh, and the tagline on here is, once you get in, there's no getting out. And I was like, And it says, for 16-year-old Dan Crawford, a summer program for gifted students is the chance of a lifetime. No one else at his high school gets his weird fascinations with history, science, but the New Hampshire College Prep program, such quirks are all but required. And it looks like the summer housing is going to be closed, but they're going to stay in this dorm that was formerly a psychiatric hospital. And I was like, So, and it says, it features haunting found photographs from real asylums. And this is going to be a mind-bending reading experience. So I was kind of like, yeah, okay, I'll try that one out. So we'll see what happens. This last one I may or may not pick up, but it is one that I had picked out because I was helping a coworker kind of come up with some books that were about America's history, but different time periods, not World War II. And so this one I found on our shelves, and that's Jefferson's Sons by Kimberly Boobraker Bradley, which I know she's a really popular middle grade YA author. I had never heard of this one before, but when I saw it on her shelves, I was like, okay. And it says on the back, what does it mean when the man who wrote the Declaration of Independence is your father and also your slave master? So kind of a different time period. I like Civil War-y stuff. And so looking forward to picking that one up. All right, so that's everything that I've grabbed at my library lately. Doesn't mean I won't grab more. Anytime they get new books in, I'm like, I need them, I want them. And thankfully they're from the library, so I don't have to buy them. But I do have a couple books here that I am hoping to pick up soon, if not during this holiday break. And so if I say any here that you have already read and you think I should definitely put them as a priority, please let me know, because I'm gonna have a hard time narrowing some of these down. So, the first one that I will probably more than likely pick up is What Happens in Paradise, and this is by Ellen Hildebrand, excuse me. This is the second book in the trilogy, Winter in Paradise. I just read that one last month as part of my 5-star prediction. That video will be coming out soon, but I am looking forward to continuing the story, if that hints at a little bit of how much I liked it. And so I picked this one up. So before I forget things that happened in the first book, Winter in Paradise, I want to make sure I pick it up soon enough that I remember. So that's a possibility. Another one that if I don't get to it before this Christmas break would be kind of a fun time to do it, and that is Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. This is a tiny book. I could probably get through this one very quickly, especially on like a winter break. And I do believe I've been told this is what Christmas with the Cranks, the movie, was based off of. So just a fun one, you know, holiday time. So that one's a possibility. One that I actually pulled off my shelf for Historathon back in November and didn't get to was Three Sisters by Heather Morris. A fun shiny cover. And this is actually, I think, the third book in, I don't necessarily think it's a trilogy per se, but this is like kind of like the third book in the Tattooist of Auschwitz like series or grouping. The second one was Silka's Journey, and let me just double check. Usually it's not necessarily a continuation of the book prior, but it involves one of the characters that might have been in one of the other books. So, and I believe that's what this one is as well. Tagline says, a promise to stay together, an unbreakable bond, and a fierce will to survive. And they're listing them here, but I can't remember which of these characters might have been in the previous book. Maybe as I get into this one, I will find out. But I have been wanting to pick this one up. It's been on my shelves for a while. So that's another possibility. Another recent buy of mine that I do want to pick up, and that kind of fits in with the ones I picked up at my library, is The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I have read the book that was technically the first in the series, but this is now the prequel, which was They Both Die at the End. And I'm looking forward to picking this one up. Now, this is a chunker, but I have a week. So I have high hopes. But if you've read it, let me know. And then last but not least, I do have a couple here on my Kindle that I'm possibly going to pick up. One or two of which are actually NetGalleys that I may or may not have missed the deadline for. But as long as I get my reviews out there, it's fine. I probably need to do another focus on NetGalley. But one is 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. I did not get to finish that one before it came out in the end of November. So I may looking at that one. Another one I have on here is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I have heard about this book all over Book Talk, as in TikTok. And I think there was like 3 different copies that were given away at my book club's book exchange. So it may or may not actually end up being a book that we pick for book club, but it's a possibility for me to read because I've heard really good things about it. And that might be it off of my, I mean, I have plenty I want to read on my Kindle. But, oh, and I'm looking on here because it also puts in my Audible. Another one that would just be fun to listen to because I have it on Audible is Have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham. So just some possibilities for what I might pick up over that Christmas holiday holiday break that I do have. So if you have read any of these, let me know your thoughts below. Please don't spoil anything. But if there's one that I should pick up before another one, I would love to know that. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.